Hey everybody, this is Chris, and today's React snack is about conditional rendering. So, in React, you can make certain things show up, disappear, based on conditional statements. So, thinking of your if thens, ternary operators, things like that. And I'm going to show you how to do this using React. So, again, for the sake of just keeping things simple and straightforward, I haven't done any real like styling or anything. I've just got two buttons that don't do anything, and then I've got this background image here. And then you can see in the app.js right now, we've got, I'm going to change this to just a div. I just took the create React app and just kind of took out the guts and replaced it with these buttons. And then the app CSS, I just made two basically identical classes with different background images. So one has mountain and one has this beach picture. And so you can see mountain or beach. And there's the nice beach picture. So what if I want to change this background image based on clicking one of these two buttons? I want to switch back and forth. Well, one thing that I can do is I can add some event handlers on these buttons, first of all, and then decide based on which button is clicked, what background will appear. So we're going to import use state to be able to utilize that state hook. And then what we're going to do is we'll say const beach and show, actually we'll say toggle beach, use state false, and then I'm just going to copy this and do the same thing, but instead of beach I'll do mountain and toggle mountain. So just for a quick recap, so these are our variables, beach and mountain, and then toggle beach is what's going to be able to update this state from true to false. So we're just going to do this inline. So we'll add an on-click handler, and we'll say for the mountain to toggle the mountain. Oh, that should say mountain. Toggle mountain. And we just want it to be the opposite of whatever mountain is. So if mountain was true, we want it to be false, and vice versa. We're going to do the same thing, but with beach for the beach. So toggle beach. And so now we have our on-click handlers, where anytime we click these buttons, it's going to flip the state of mountain and beach. Right now, this isn't doing anything, though. You could inspect it in the React Dev Tools, but that's not what this lesson is about right now. To show you how to utilize this conditional rendering, what we can do is instead of hard-coding this beach, we can open up a set of curly braces, and we could say something like mountain and mountain. There we go. So if mountain is true, then the class name is going to be mountain, which it is. Now, if we click that again, it turns off. So what's happening here is this class name is dependent upon mountain, the variable, being true. So we can see when it starts off, we set this variable to false. And remember, when we click mountain, when we click this button, it's toggling the state. So it's flipping it from true to false. Or in this case, it starts off false as it is now, and it flips it to true. So when I click this, now it has that mountain class. What if I want to switch back and forth between mountain and beach? This one will add a few more steps. Actually, before I get to that, Let me show you this. So if mountain is true, then it's going to be the mountain class. But what we can do here is actually turn this into a ternary operator. So if mountain is true, the class is going to be mountain. If it's not true, then it's going to be beach. So notice with React's hot reloading, it resets kind of everything here, and beach and mountain are both false. So this class is asking, is mountain true? Well, right now the initial state is false. So because it's false, it's saying, is mountain true? If yes, the class is mountain. If no, then the class is beach. So let's check this out. Right now, both of these buttons aren't really going to help us out. Just the mountain button. So if we click on mountain, we're going to change mountain from false to true. And now notice that because mountain is true, the mountain class is applied. Now if I click on mountain again, that's going to flip it back to false. And now we've got beach. So that's a way to use a ternary operator to be able to set the class. And then you could extend it as well and try to make this utilize both of these buttons. So you could do something like, I'm going to get rid of this here for now. And instead of doing something inline like we have here, what we can do is we can take this out. And we can just create a new function. You could do this in line if you want to, but it's a little bit cleaner if you pull it out. So we'll say const mountain background. And for that one, we are going to make the mountain true. Oops. And we are going to toggle the beach to false. So basically what we're doing here is just taking care of both of these state handlers by turning the mountain to true and the beach to false. And then similarly, we're going to do the same thing here, where we just rip this out real quick. And we'll do const beach background. You can name these whatever you want. And we'll just do the opposite. So this, we're going to toggle beach to be true. And toggle mountain to be false. So in order to get this working, we got to wire up. So on mountain, that's when we want the mountain background. So I'm just going to copy that and put it down here. So anytime we click this, that's going to trigger that mountain background little mini function that we made here. And then beach will be beach background. So this isn't going to do anything yet, and it's giving me an error because I don't have anything inside these curly braces. So what we can do is, we can actually still, I probably shouldn't have ripped this out earlier, but we can still just set this to mountain, just like we had before. So if mountain is true, the class will be mountain. And if mountain is false, then beach will be the background. So now if we click on mountain, we've got our mountain. If we click on beach, it sets it back to beach because we've wired that up. And you can see that the opposite is true as well. If I flip this all around and I do, let's use beach as our the variable that we're watching. If beach is true, then let's set it to beach. And if mountain is true, or if beach is not true, excuse me, then let's set it to mountain. So notice it's starting with mountain, and that's not because mountain is true here. Notice that VS Code is giving me this little highlighter saying we're not using this variable anywhere. What this class is doing, or what this div is doing, is it's only looking for that variable beach. If beach is true, it's going to set the class to beach. If beach is false, it's going to set it to mountain. So since beach starts off as false, we start off with this mountain background. And now if I click beach, it sets the background to beach. So that's just a quick, simple way to use conditional rendering for some different things. We just used it in a background here, but you could use it for showing an entire div, for example. So let's do like we could, or even like these buttons, for example. So what we could do on the inside here is we could say if mountain is true, then we'll show the button for the beach. And if beach is true, so what this is going to do is it's going to say, is beach true? Then give me the mountain button so that I can flip it back. This one's saying, is mountain true? If so, then show me the beach background button. Since I started them both off as false, you'd want to have both one of them start off as true. So let's go ahead and just start the beach off as true. So our beach background, beach is true, so it's showing us our beach class, and this is saying mountain. So beach is true, so I'm going to show you a button that says mountain. Now if I click that, notice that it flipped over to beach, because now mountain is true, and this button shows up with that beach text and the beach background handler. So again, just a couple of different ways to use conditional rendering. You can use that ternary operator. You can use the and to display any sort of element or even entire components based on the state of any of your variables. So it's a pretty cool and powerful tool that you can use, and definitely comes in handy for a lot of use cases. So play around with it, see what you can use conditional rendering for. And that's it for today. So thanks for hanging out. And if you liked the video, go ahead and give it a like. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you next time. Thanks.